Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to ya. Oh, I'm trying to come in peace. I'm trying to come in peace. I'm trying to come in peace. All right. So let's see how I want this Sunday to go. Let's see how I want this Sunday to go because I had no plans on seeing YouTube again until this week. I had no plans on seeing YouTube again until this week because I was trying to say, Monday I wanted to get some dear DJs out, start having those drop. I also wanted to I wanted to be ready for Live at 5 on Tuesday and Friday, which Live at 5 was so much fun Friday. Thanks again, you guys, for tuning in. If you just got here, make sure you hit the thumbs up on the video. Give me a shout out in the chat to let me know you're in the biz naive because we have some things to talk about. And like I said, happy Sunday. I hope your dinner is cooked. I hope you have your cocktail. I hope you're ready to roll because we're going to discuss some things, honey. We are going to discuss some things. Hi, Pookie. Hi, Noodles. And we're going to save the main event for last, right? So you guys do not fight with me about the main event. I want to talk about Nicki right now. Nicki and Meg, rather. We're going to talk about those folks. But before we get into them, we have some things that we need to discuss first and have questions. Now, let me say this. I am on the streaming network where you guys could call in, but it's no pressure today. It's only pressure on Tuesdays and Fridays. Today, if after all of the topics, folks say they have things to say, then I'll drop the link and you can call in. But today is really no pressure. If you just want to leave your commentary in the chat, that's fine. If also you want to basically you just came here to listen and get your little giggle on it, or your little cursing me out on whatever you would like to do, I want you to feel free in doing so because it's Sunday. Today's a relaxed day. And plus, I didn't plan on seeing you guys. I did not plan on seeing you guys because I told y'all I was trying to chill. I was trying to mind my business, but too many things took place. As a matter of fact, Nicki is dropping currently right now. Nicki is supposed to be dropping Bigfoot currently right now, right? So I don't know. But anyway, welcome. Happy Sunday. If you're here, hit the thumbs up on the video. Please let me know you're here in the chat. Say, hey, DJ, it's so-and-so. If you're from another state, another country, shout yourself out. Like I said, today I do have the link for people to call in, but I'm not pressuring nobody to call in today. I'm not pressuring nobody to do that because I don't want you to feel that pressure. That's only for Tuesdays and Fridays for Live at 5. Today, it's just for y'all to listen to all of the hot topics because so much is jumped off. Sorry, y'all. Somebody said so much is jumped off this week that I feel like we need to really, really have some conversation about it. And it jumped off so fast that I'm like, oh my goodness, which I shouldn't have been shocked because Meg the Stallion, she had her things going on and that was that. So hold on one sec. I'm just getting my situation situated here. All right. So if you're here, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the thumbs up in the video, right? Also, put your name in the chat. Hey, Deej, it's so-and-so from such and such. Hi, I'm recording. You guys pay attention. Okay. I have my first question, right? Miss Netta and Charles. I need some feedback on Miss Netta and Charles. Because number one on the list, I don't know what Miss Netta and Charles is famous for. I don't know what they do, but I keep seeing them pop up on my screen and people are, interviewing them. It's Sayuri, you need to be on YouTube. I see people interviewing them and conversing with them, and they're really famous and popular. And from what Miss Netta said that they're coming out with a reality show. Who is Miss Netta and Charles? Now, Miss Netta goes by Miss, but I don't think Miss Netta is a Miss. As a matter of fact, I'm not misgendering her. Miss Netta actually said that she's not a Miss on TGIF. What's her name? T.S. Madison was going through all of the trauma, trying to figure out like, hey, do you identify with the LGBTQIA community plus? And she said, okay, yes, I do. And yada, yada, yada. And I go with Charles. And she's going by Miss Netta, but Miss Netta did reveal that it's not a miss. I don't know what it is. I'm not clear. So I just wanted to get some feedback from you guys. If you could let me know what's going on with Miss Netta. Also, I don't know, is Charles mentally stable? Because every now and again, Charles can give a he can give a certain look that may resemble the fact that he's not present here on earth. And what they were sharing with me is that Miss Netta feeds Charles food, and they think that Miss Netta might be putting some things in Charles' food. So Charles is not really coherent. So he may not even know that he goes with Miss Netta. He may not even know that he's here on planet Earth. So if you guys know anything about Miss Netta, I'm going to need some feedback. I'm going to need some feedback because it also lends to the fact that a lot of times folks are getting famous for or making money from things that I don't see what the benefit of it is. So if they're getting a reality show and they're popular and famous because they're in a same-sex relationship, if that's the case, my sister Khalil is in a same-sex relationship. Like, let's give her a reality show and make her famous. Like, I don't get it. What is the issue? And for me, like I said, I don't, Miss Netta, I'm not clear on the aesthetic. I don't know what's going on there. And then they said it's some plates, some food. I don't know. So we'll keep Miss Netta in prayer. But that's you guys' homework. You know, I'm always giving out homework. What is going on there? I don't know about Miss Netta. I don't know what's going on. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Olinda. If you are here, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on the video and let me know in the chat that you're here. Okay, let me end that live one thing, right? Okay. Now, speaking of folks being famous for things that make absolutely no sense, I know you guys are going to want to talk about Chrisean Rock and let me take a sip. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been having conversation about Chrisean Rock and almost I actually did the reviews for Chrisean Rock and Blueface's show season 1. Let me say this. I got probably the most ratings on any of my YouTube videos from Chrisean and Blueface's show, right? So I'm trying, and I'm trying, and I need some support. There's ladies here in this chat. I need some support because Chrisean and Blueface, Chrisean in particular, I'm not even gonna lie and tell y'all that for me it's Blueface, right? Because for me, Blueface is the type of person that gets over and benefits from what's allowed, right? He is only where he is doing what he does because of what's allowed, right? And that's from anybody, right? It could be allowed from the Zeus Network. It could be allowed from his mama. It could be allowed from us as the audience. Like, Blueface is only relevant because of what is allowed, right? I think if Chrisean didn't date Blueface, I think if Jaden Alexis didn't come out and talk about Blueface, I think if the mother wasn't all over the headlines constantly talking about Blueface, then Blueface would be null and void and a thing of the past, right? So for me, it's simply about ignoring the fuck out of him because you're not relevant. You're not relevant. You're not. But what you are is incredibly calculated and incredibly smart. Those are the two things, right? You are incredibly calculated and you are incredibly smart. Let me also say this. Blueface is an Aquarius. Blueface is an Aquarius, right? Blueface is Aquarius. And what he does have is a trait that I'm very familiar with, which is called manipulation. He's very manipulative, extremely manipulative, very manipulative. If you watch my first season, if you watch when I reviewed the show, the first season, I talked about a lot of his behavior traits, right? And what I will say is this. I don't necessarily want to say that being manipulative is a consistent trait of an Aquarius, right? But it can show up in many Aquarius folks. not just the men, not just the women. That's just a trait that can show up within us, right? What I learned about it when I was exuding that same behavior is that you want control. You want things to go your way, right? And instead of you trying to force them to go instead of you trying to force it to go your way, because that's just not our style to be forceful. We're trying to maneuver and shake and fold and stretch and bend to get folks to see it our way, right? And when I learned to stop being that way was because, one, be careful what you wish for, because your ass may just get it, right? And then number two is that if something is meant to happen and something is for you, the bending, the folding, the moving, the shaking, and all of the things that you're doing to try to make it happen, you don't have to do. It's simply going to happen on its own. And see, what I had realized was that every time I did the moving, the bending, the shaking, the molding, and everything else to try to get things to go my way, in the end, it never really worked out. It went my way temporarily, but in the end, it never worked out. And you know why? Because I was doing it with malicious intent, which was to manipulate the person. And if that person or that situation was meant to go the way I wanted it to go, I would never have to manipulate it, right? What Blueface is very manipulative. And in all fairness to Blueface, his manipulation has made him rich. His manipulation has made him rich. So in all fairness to him, who wouldn't be going around doing all of these weird things and getting on with all this weird behavior if it's making me a shitload of money? Which is why for me, I tend to tune him out, because in my mind, as long as you're not getting attention, you're not going to have the ability to manipulate. And as long as you can't manipulate, you're not going to get paid. So for me, Blueface, everything he says goes over my head. It goes over my head. Like, so a lot of times when he's having a conversation with Chrisean, or he's in interviews, or he's arguing with Soulja Boy and all of that type of stuff, I don't really pay Blueface no mind. I don't follow him on social media. I don't know what goes on with him outside of his relationship. And the only reason why I pay attention to that is because initially when I got on board with it, it was because I wanted to ding, 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 do what I do, even from a distance, heal Chrisean's heart, right? I got on board with this situation because I feel in my mind, I felt, let me not lie, I felt in the past that Chrisean needed healing hearts. And I'm going to be very fair, right? I'm going to be fair and say this. I feel like everybody in the world needs healing. I feel like everybody in the world needs healing. Operation Heal 100 Hearts mantra is, I don't look at what's wrong with you. I look at what happened to you. So I feel like in the world, even the worst set of people have had the worst set of circumstances, which made them who they are. So I think that everybody in the world needs healing, right? That's one thing. Hey guys, if you just joined the live, please make sure you hit the thumbs up and like the video. Also, if you're a new subscriber, please subscribe to the channel and make sure you leave your name in the chat so I know you in the biz, Naive, right? I hope you got your cocktail, wink, wink. Anyway, so for me, because I feel like everybody needs healing, and I feel like I'm just doing that by watching these shows and giving my perspective and speaking it out publicly, that, you know, the universe will get it to these people somehow, some way, right? So that's initially how I got on Chrisean and Blueface. So as I got on watching Chrisean and Blueface, what I learned is that Chrisean does not want healing. Chrisean does not want healing. Chrisean wants to be free to allow her trauma to leak out and bleed out all over the world. And the moment that she's penalized for her trauma leaking out and bleeding all over the world, she wants to be the victim. For me, that presents a problem. It presents a problem because healing involves owning up to your ish, okay? And when you have to own up to your ish, I'm here to tell y'all, and y'all can take this to the bank and cash it. When you have to own up to your ish, looking in that mirror at yourself breaks you. It breaks you in ways that nothing else can break you. It breaks you in ways that a death can't break you. It breaks you in so many ways because we are all flawed and we have such ugly traits in us that when you have to fully own up to those ugly traits and address them with you and God. This is not about you going to address them with a therapist, you going to address them to the world. When you and God have to sit down and comb through all of the ugly traits that we have within us and all of the things that we've been through, it breaks you. Because number one on the list is like, why have I been through these things? Why did these things happen to me? And then it's, oh my God, look the way I responded to them. That I don't want to be that person, which we all don't, because at the core of us, we want to be good people. We want to be good people, everybody, right? Which is why I encourage folks to get on a healing journey. Shout out Operation Heal 100 Hearts, saved and changed my life and many others. But I encourage folks to get on a healing journey, because once you do, you become that better person. What I see with Chrisean is that you're hell-bent on not addressing any of your BS or your behaviors. And when someone else addresses them, you become the victim. And where you have gotten very smart and calculated is you paid attention, you scanned the room, and you watch who you can put the bad guy on, who you can put the bad guy title on, which is Blueface. Because everybody in the world is like, he's a jerk. He don't have to treat these women like this. He's an asshole. He's a gaslighter. He is all of those things. Because what did I say in the beginning? Ding, 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 ding. It's allowed. It's allowed. Because had he not had nobody to manipulate, control, if he didn't have Blueface Club and all of that nonsense, he would be null and void. So for her, it's okay for me to be the victim, because you guys already know who the bad guy is, which is him. And because he's the bad guy and I'm the victim, I don't have to address any of my fucked up behaviors, because that doesn't matter, because I'm the victim here, which in turn causes her to do the things that she does. And one of the things that she just did, what they just revealed today, that made my head fly off my motherfucking shoulders, is she put a tattoo of his face on her face. Now, when they were going through the turmoil and he was saying he was back with hello, motherfucker, hello, motherfucker. I really like that song, even though I don't know the crazy pop Big Mom, but I like that song. But when all of that was going on, she went and covered all 4 or 3 or 2 or how many other tattoos she had of him. She covered them, because she was saying that she had tatted him too many times and she was trying to release herself from him and she was trying to move forward, right? And everybody was on board with that, because they saw the light at the end of the tunnel for Chrisean, which everybody tends to see the light at the end of the tunnel for Chrisean, except for Chrisean. Except for Chrisean. And this is what irritates my soul, is that everybody else, because they want to see the light at the end of the tunnel for Chrisean, they make excuses for Chrisean. And when folks make excuses for Chrisean, she's just, oh, well, I'm a little baby and everybody's doing something to me. And once again, she becomes the victim. So when it's time for her to own up to the things that she says and does, she doesn't feel a need to, because in this moment, she's the victim. She's always the victim. So let me get this straight. So Chrisean went to jail. Blueface went to jail, right? And before he went to jail, they were going back and forth about him being with Jade and Alexis and him being with her, Chrisean, and Chrisean being with somebody else. And now that he's incarcerated, he has manipulated this young lady to think that they're back together. So because of that, she's now moving as though he's her man, which means she moves back into his house, which means she has a curfew that he has given her. And now she has tatted his face on her face. I need somebody to make sense of this. I'm sorry. I'm done. There's no more sense for me to make of this. There's nothing else for me to say. There's nowhere else for me to go. There's no other way to say. Somebody else make sense of Chrisean, and somebody has to. Somebody else has to help me, because I'm done. I'm burnt out. I reviewed the show. I watched the backstory. I seen the parents. I've done everything. So somebody else makes sense of this behavior with Chrisean. I need it. Chrisean tattooed Blueface's face on her face. You just went and covered up his name that you had 2 or 3 times. So that wasn't enough for you. So now your comeback was, let me show my daddy that I really, really love him. And let me show him that this time is really, really real. So since I covered up his name, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, she had his face here before. If I'm not mistaken, she had his face. Listen, Chrisean is y'all homegirl. Y'all want me to have remorse for Chrisean. Chrisean is the little baby and she's the victim and she's growing through some things as a young adult. So since she's doing that, while she's doing that with a brand new baby, right, and a load of money, I want you guys to let me know how y'all plan on helping Chrisean. Because Operation Heal 100 Hearts has tapped out. And so has Khadijah. There's no help to give Chrisean. There's no conversations to have with Chrisean. All of the lovely folks that know that Chrisean is a victim and she doesn't bother anybody and life is not fair, it's just happening to Chrisean. You guys, let me know how y'all gonna help Chrisean. I want to know. I honestly want to know what's the plan on helping Chrisean. Y'all tell me. Since y'all know everything, since Chrisean don't do nothing to nobody, since she's the victim and Blueface is the villain, y'all let me know what's the plan on helping Chrisean. Is there a plan? Or are we going to say every time that something happens, leave Chrisean alone? Chrisean is the victim. Is she really? Is she really? Because now I'm inclined to believe that Chrisean is a villain. But we'll come back to that. All right. So as you guys know, and you're well aware, your girl Meg dropped his on Friday, right? And me personally, before I get into that, let me just say a few sidebar things. Did you guys see that Moniece Slaughter came out and was basically popping junk about Meg because she feels like Meg the Stallion had no right to bring up Megan's law because the actual family of the young lady that the law was made in reference to should be offended and something should be done. And Moniece, I know you're not on Love and Hip Hop no more. I know you have nothing going on. I know you went and got like a mommy makeup. Moniece, you have nothing going on. So I know that you want your name back in the headlines and you're a little off as well. So I know that's why you tried to jump in the battle and get your name known again. Moniece, nobody cares, Moniece. Nobody cares. So we not jumping on Meg for bringing that up. It was a bar. We're here for the bars because we're here for the rap. If you're not here for the rap because you're a nut, then you need to go and move and take a nap and go to sleep. Okay, Moniece? Because we don't give a damn. We don't, you bringing that up about the whole, they need to talk, she needs to be sued and the family needs to, Moniece. Anyway, I'm not even going to entertain you. I want to move on to Joe Budden. Joe Budden, again, for me, is like an older Blueface. He gives me the same manipulative, corny tactics to rile women up and do weird shit to them and then pretend like he don't know what's happening. I, again, cannot stand Joe Budden, right? So for me, I don't have time for him. I know they have the Joe Budden podcast. I know people watch the Joe Budden podcast. I don't watch the Joe Budden podcast. The only one episode that I did watch was my man Tyrese, because Black Ty is a person who needs healing hearts. Healing Hearts is here for Tyrese. Y'all tag Tyrese, let him know Healing Hearts is here for him. He is a person whose heart I would like to heal, right? So the only episode I've ever watched of the Joe Budden's podcast is the one he in on. Everything else outside of that, I do not be bothered with Joe Budden. I think he's a womanizer and a manipulator, and I think he might as well be just like Blueface, if not worse, right? So anyway, he joined the chat because for him, he want to argue with the ladies. That's his favorite thing to do, is beat on and argue with the ladies, allegedly. Because from what one of the ladies said, allegedly, she said he kicked the baby out of ass and all types of mess. They said Joe is a piece of work when it comes to them ladies. Once again, I don't date Joe, so I don't know. That's just the word on the curb, allegedly, right? In any event, he stepped into the chat because he had a lot of things to say about Meg with the whole Tory Lanez situation. Of course, Meg the Stallion can come across very confident, very self-aware, very I don't play with these niggas type of vibe. And for him, that presents a problem because he only wants the weak women that he can dominate, right? So I think he had a personal thing with Joe. With Meg. And because he had something personal, he constantly spoke on her and Tory's situation in favor of Tory, right? In any event, what he said was he felt like Meg the Stallion's bar about somebody dancing in the club to R. Kelly music was about him. Can somebody make that correlate for me? I missed it. When was Joe dancing in the club to R. Kelly music? Like, what part did I miss? Because I was just looking at the screen like, Joe, are you trying to involve yourself in something that has absolutely nothing to do with you, or you just want to be back in the headlines again? Because I was confused on how the two came together. And again, I'm so off Joe Buttons that even I think he tried to offer an explanation about how he put it together, but I didn't even want to see it because I just looked at him the same way I looked at Monique. Shut the fuck up and mind your motherfucking business and go sit the fuck down. You have a podcast, talk about whatever you got to talk about up there. So you guys, again, if you want me in the end to drop the link because stuff like that you're aware of, I will, or you can share with me what you know about it. Or if not, you can leave it here in the chat. If you just arrived, please make sure you go hit the thumbs up on the video. If you're new to my channel, please make sure you subscribe and leave your name in the chat so I can shout you out. And I know you're here. That's a way of supporting the channel for free. Ruby Rose. Again, folks that I'm totally oblivious to. So the reason why I know Ruby Rose exists is because on this last Baddies season audition, so Baddies East, before it came on, y'all know they do auditions, and Ruby Rose was one of the judges. And I was like, who the fuck is this? Because I had never seen Ruby Rose a day in my damn life. And they was like, that's Ruby Rose. And I was like, who? So when I did a little back research, I heard that you are one of Hallie, Chloe, the one who had the sneak side secret baby. You are her baby father, old woman, and you was trying to kind of bother them a little bit and reveal some old corny stuff that he was doing because I think he might be a little light on his toes. DDG, wink, wink. We'll see about that. But in any event, I heard that Ruby Rose was his oboe. I cannot tell you what Ruby Rose is famous for. I cannot tell you what Ruby Rose does. I think she's a pretty girl. I seen her on being a judge on the Baddies, but I didn't know Ruby Rose. Anyway, Ruby Rose chimed in a group chat, and she had some things to say about Nicki Minaj on her OnlyFans. Right, I'm gonna see if I can read it to you guys because she spoke about Nicki on her OnlyFans, and I was like, Nicki. I didn't even know she had any, dealings with Nicki because I didn't know Ruby Rose, so I didn't know that, anything. She would even know who Nicki is, but apparently she does, and she has some things to say on her IG. So hold on, what she did was she said on her close friends. She said it on her close friends, and what happened was the people then was like, Ruby, we don't allow no Nicki slander, and because I'm secretly a barb and I see you trying to do it in your OnlyFans because you're a punk ass bitch, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it out there and let them know that you're talking about Nicki so the barbs could slash your face off. So that's exactly what happened. Somebody in her close friends, they put out that she was talking about Nicki, and they shared it with the world, and the blogs picked it up, and of course the barbs tore her face off. So I'm trying to find what she said so I can show it to you guys. I was like, oh wow. But she did have some derogatory things to say with Nicki, and I was thinking in my mind, well, when do you engage Nicki? Because what does Ruby Rose do? I'm not clear. So I was like, okay. But she definitely, the comments that she made definitely made me feel like, okay, maybe you and the woman had an interaction because you did talking about the lady and your close friends like you know her personally. Where is the comment at? Where is it at? Hold on, you guys. I'm going to tell you what she said. And listen, the barbs was not playing. They went and dug up everything they could about this girl and said, listen, if you think you want to be talking about Nicki, I know you lying. So, hold on, y'all. I thought I had this in my phone. I'm sorry. So she said, Nicki Minaj, evil as fuck. Only option to marry was a pedophile. Bitch, evil. Pretty in the face, but body botches. Evil spirit ass bitch. Old as fuck. Trying to keep up. Ozempic really saved her big back self. Beefing with these young girls so lame. Bitch, wash. You're 40. Take care of Papa and your drug addiction. Ooh, child. So I don't know what Nicki did to Ruby, But clearly Ruby was on one. But what Ruby didn't know was that if you was going to be on one, Ruby, you needed to say that with your chest. And you didn't say it with your chest. You said it with your backbone and your vertebrae. And because you said it with your backbone and your vertebrae, and the Barb's going to play about her, they was like, oh, you think you're going to say that with your backbone and your vertebrae? No, baby, you got to say it with your chest around these parts. So they exposed the close friends and said, hey, girl, this girl's over here discussing you. What's up with the what's up? Now, what I know about Nicki is Nicki's probably going to pay her dust, because she has bigger fish to fry. So let's get to the main event, because we've been here for a half an hour and I really want to discuss this. I really want to discuss this. So if you just got here, or if you know somebody who was here waiting for me to talk about this Nicki Minaj thing, this Nicki Minaj Meg Thee Stallion thing. Let's get folks here. Let's get folks here. You know, share the link. Call your people up. Let's get folks here. Let's get folks here, because I know that folks wanted to hear my input about this whole Meg Thee Stallion and, you know, Nicki Minaj thing. So I want to give all I got. I'm going to go live on Facebook at the same time so they can see me here on my phone and we can have some real dialogue about this. Okay. Let me give my disclaimer and let me be very clear about what I'm going to say. I am not a barb and I am not a honey. So I don't want nobody thinking that whatever I say about Nicki or Meg is coming from the space of me being a fan, not a fan of me. I don't want you guys to mistake it as coming from a space of I'm so locked into either one of those young ladies that I would give a biased opinion. The only person that I probably was, two people that probably would, I would more lean to their side is Beyonce and Queen Latifah. And even with them two hoes, if I could go against Penny when she wrong, I could go against anybody. Okay. So this, what I'm about to lay out for you guys, has nothing to do with, oh, I'm more of a Nicki fan, or oh, I'm more of a Meg fan, because really and truly, I ain't got a dog in that fight, if we being honest, right? But I just want to give my perspective from what I've seen, just as well as I know everybody else is giving their opinion from what they've seen, right? First of all, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Meg is 28 years old. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. She's either like 27 or 28. And me and Nicki Minaj are the same age. Nicki Minaj is 41 years old. Okay. And what I think is taking place that people keep forgetting, and I can see why people keep forgetting and why the lines keep getting blurred, is because I see so many women my age and older thinking or running with or assuming that they are in the same realm as these young girls. So I could definitely see why why the lines would get blurred when it comes to this whole drama and this whole situation regarding the two of them, right? Okay, let me start with that. So once again, Nicki Minaj is 41 years old. If I'm not mistaken, Meg Thee Stallion is 28. Okay? So I went back and I did like some research on both, because like I said, I'm not too much of a fan of either one. So I would be lying to tell you that prior to me going back and doing research, I knew much about these young ladies other than the songs that they have out that I like. Let me be clear, and I'll say this until I'm blue in the face. Nicki Minaj is a very good rapper, right? At the moment, in my opinion, she is the #1 female rapper. That's my opinion, right? I'm entitled to it. I do also believe that Meg Thee Stallion is an excellent rapper, and I do feel like when it comes down to it, aside from Remy, I think that Meg can honestly, shiver me timbers, right? Do I think that she will out-rap Nicki? No. But I do think she could say some shit, because even in his, I was like, oh, God, Meg, girl, Meg. Okay, all right, okay, and all right. So I do believe that they're both very talented. I'm just more a fan of Nicki musically. And also, I would be a fan more of Nicki musically. We're the same age. So naturally, I would gravitate towards her more. No shade towards Meg. I think that Meg can rap. I think she's very good at her craft. It's just that my style, the style of rapping that I like, is more geared towards Nicki, right? Okay, no problem, right? There's a few things taking place. In my personal opinion, I do feel like Nicki is just not a girl's girl. I'm sorry. I know folks don't want to hear that, right? But in my personal opinion, Nicki is not a girl's girl. She's not. She's not, right? I don't see, you know how you meet certain women, and again, I talked about this on another one of my videos where I talked about how people have to know you to like you. So you ever met a person and everybody likes them as soon as they meet them, right? Something about their spirit is so bright and shiny. You know, they're always smiling. They're always very polite and sweet to everyone. So they're just automatically liked. And then you have other folks who is like, okay, I had to be around you a few times and be like, oh, she nice. She cool. But I didn't initially know if you was nice and cool because you didn't initially give off that energy, right? We have some of those folks. We have some of those folks. They exist in the world, especially with women. They exist. So you have some women who, as soon as you meet them, initially the smile is so bright, the spirit is so warm that you gravitate towards them automatically. And then you have some other women who you have to kind of get to know before you can honestly say if they're nice people or if they're quote unquote good people. And then there's another group of women who are just not likable at all unless they fuck with you. Right? So it's like, if you're not one of my close friends, you're not my family member, you haven't been around since the beginning of the time, we have not been through things together, then you're not nice to anybody unless y'all have that history and that love cemented and solid, and that has built over time and with experience, right? And my personal opinion, and again, Nicki is a celebrity and a millionaire. She's that woman. At least that's what I feel. I feel like who Nicki fucks with and who she got history with and who she banged with, she bangs with. She's probably the nicest woman to them. She probably would do anything for them. That's who she is, right? I feel like with Meg energy off the rip is likable, right? When you see her in interviews, she give you very coy, very playful, very laughy, very jokey. So I can see folks from like, oh my God, I love Meg, you know, as soon as you meet her. Whereas with Nicki, it's like, okay, girl. Okay. But after a while, you're like, oh, nah, she cool. She cool. She cool. It's just a little from the beginning, right? In my opinion, that's Nicki's intention. But I feel like it's Nicki's intention because she's been through things, right? I don't think that she just was born mean, right? I think that I've been through a lot in my life. And because of that, my guard is up. So it takes me time to get to know and maneuver and shake around people before I just let them in my circle and let them in my life and let them in my circumference. Because not only am I a celebrity and I'm rich, but I've also been through traumatic things with other people. So it makes me apprehensive about building relationships. I think Meg is more of a free spirit. So she's not walking around testing everybody out. She may be now because she went through some shit these last couple of years. But I think initially from when she meets you, as giggly, as laughy, as jokey, as playful, because that's just who she is. All right. That's my assessment for the both of them lovely ladies. Now, I love Hot Girl Summer. She's a big of me. It's a must that I hit. Hot Girl Summer. My track. I love Hot Girl Summer, right? That was my song. Now, I wasn't really a fan of WAP. I wasn't really a fan of WAP, but WAP was everybody's, right? Everybody loved it. Me personally, I did not love it, but okay, so you know, listen. All right, got it. Now, from what it looks like and from what folks explained, and I understand, you know, the assessment of this is that, okay, Nicki is not a girl's girl. She's always having issues with women, and especially with these younger girls because they're up and coming now. And it almost seems like you doing the whole gatekeeping thing, and she's got to bow down to you in order to get in the gates. And you have some women like my girl Cariri, yes, Carisha, Young Miami, who was like, I know you fucking lying, big Aquarius gang. She's like, I'm not doing that. But then you have women like JT at V, who's like, I don't mind getting under the wing. I just want Nicki to know I'm alive, right? So anytime that somebody is not willing to allow you to keep the gates, there's going to be problems, right? What I think with Meg was she kind of wasn't worried about kicking down the door because she just was coming in to do what she needed to do. What she didn't realize is that she would have roadblocks kicking down the door. So like case in point, in her mind, I can do music and work with anybody. I'm lovable, I'm playful, I like to rap. Whoever want to collaborate with me, let's do it. Yay, I'm here. What she didn't realize is that Nicki don't play that. And so what it seems like happened is she did the song with Nicki, she did the song with Beyonce, and then she did the song with Cardi. All big, huge records, right? So this is what Nicki is trying to say the situation is. She's saying that Meg did a lot of BS, which made her have an issue with her. And one of the things was when they were, doing Hot Girl Summer, she at the time was suspecting that she was expecting. She wasn't sure yet. She wasn't clear yet. She was just assuming. So because she was assuming that, and that's what she wanted. She was newly married. She wanted to have a baby. So because of that, she didn't want to drive the boat and all of that, because she's saying, if I am pregnant, I don't want to do nothing to jeopardize it. So for whatever reason, I guess when whatchamacallit was trying to get her to drive the boat, Meg, she was like, no, I have a situation that might be. And Meg said to her, well, girl, you get rid of that. We ain't got time for that. Girl, it's a hot girl summer, right? According to Nicki, from then, she was peeking at this bitch, right? Like, excuse me, I could get rid of, no, I cannot do that, right? So then she said, because that was her issue and she was peeking at her afterwards, Meg was pretty much off her and went and did, the song with B and the song with Cardi, and she didn't have her to think about, right? And then she said, which Nicki kind of complains about this a lot, that people use her and that irritates her because she feels like, people just come around when they want something, but then they act funny after. So I think she may have been triggered with the fact that she felt like Meg pretty much was off her after the record and went off and, pretend that she didn't exist. So then she said she announced that she was pregnant, and then everybody started congratulating her, and Beyonce sent her flowers or roses or whatever she sent her. And when she said she feels like when Meg saw all of these other people embracing her, she tried to hop back on a bandwagon and act like she was cool, but Nicki was already off. Like, you already said about my baby, you already was moving funny, like, I don't really like you. Now, the moving funny piece still confuses me, because what funny movements were there to have? Because we're only collaborating to do a record. We're not really friends. So if after this we don't have much dialogue, I don't see why that would be an issue if I completed and fulfilled my duties, which was to put my, part on the record and so on and so forth. What's the problem? Right? So according to Nicki, that's where the initial beef started. I'm not going to lie, y'all. I wasn't paying close attention to who started throwing shots first. I don't know. I don't know, because like I said, during that time, Nicki didn't have music out, and I don't always listen to Meg music. So I wasn't paying attention to who was throwing what shots and what songs. I can't lie. I started paying attention when Red Ruby the Sleeves came out. I was like, oh, this is a real beef. This is a real beef. Because in my mind, I thought that Meg was catching little strays because Nicki was beefing with Cardi. But when she said all that about Alpha Horses, Christopher Reeves and all that, yes. Meg, that's for you, baby, okay? That smoke, that's for you, my dear. So what I saw was that, Meg looked like she paid the dust, which I personally loved about her because she's an Aquarius. And for me, I'm the same. I'm the same. I probably would have my little venting sessions with the people I love, but to see me publicly address somebody about their BS, bitch, I'm in the air. I don't hit niggas corny raps. Like, I don't care about none of that. So I'm not doing that. Right? So when Meg was paying her dust, I was like, oh yeah, girl, do what you gotta do. I got that. I get that. Right? When I heard what was said on Hiss, I said, okay, Megan is alive. Megan is alive and Megan is tired. So let me tell y'all what I think about Megan. I think Megan has big D energy. And I think that Megan does not really give a fuck about beefing with Nicki. I think Megan rather beef with the guys. I think for her, beefing with women, I think Megan gives me, and I would really like to hear, the type of mom she was raised with, because Megan really gives me that she'd rather go toe-to-toe with males. She'd rather dominate men, because a lot of her energy is really towards, like, letting niggas know that, she got a big dick than them. And I always look at that because to me, it's like, yeah, I don't mind you being cocky and confident, but sometimes you act like you want to be a little bit more masculine than a man. Like, I remember I watched on Carisha Please, and on Carisha Please, you could tell Carisha felt that. Carisha was like, ooh, like, she was giving like, I'm your man. I've seen women flirt, but it just was weird. And for me, I noticed even in his record, she has a tendency to more lean towards the issues with the guys, right? So like Drake, Tory Lanez, I can't deny Joe Budden said. I think with her, this women beef is beneath her because I want to let these niggas know. That's what I get. I think the only reason why she made any response towards Nicki Minaj is because Nicki Minaj had been digging for so long and everybody had been saying to her, you need to say something. Because I think, believe it or not, she would not give a damn about going back and forth with none of these women because y'all bitches is beneath me. I want to give these niggas head top. I want to give these niggas head top and let them know I'm that nigga. She gives off big D energy. And I would really like to see where that comes from. Because again, I'm not saying she should be beefing with either one, but in any event, if you're a woman and you have a woman wanting smoke, why not want it with her instead of with the males? You know, so I kind of, I couldn't really get with that, but that's what it gave me, right? So now, here we go. She dropped the hits record, she dropped the line, and she said about the Megan's Law Hole situation, and Nicki spiraled out of control. Now, I'm going to say this, and I had this in the description of this video. I'm here for the bars. I'm here for the bars. I'm here for the song. I'm here for you getting in the studio. I'm here for that part of it. When it comes down to the rapping, oh, I'm 3,000% here for the rapping. I'm 10 toes down for the rapping. I want to see you rap. I love that. That's my favorite part. When somebody says something about you, you're like, okay, girl. Now, when I come back in my song, don't feel, but I love the bars. I love the competition. I love the sparring with the bars. I love that, which is why I used to always be and still am so upset with Cardi, because it's like instead of you going in the studio and making the music, you keep going on live and having a rant. No, go and spit the bars. So I was excited when Meg came back on the record because I'm like, yes, now they going back. Now they going back. Now it's up. We got the bars. I can appreciate that. Nicki. I know that you're going to try to, disguise it behind, your Achilles heel is really Papa, but that's not the truth, Nicki. That's not the truth. That's not the truth. Your Achilles heel is Big Zoo, your husband. I'm sorry to tell you, Nicki. I'm so sorry to tell you, but your issue is your husband. And I know that you want to pretend that that's not the case. I know you want to act as if this is really about the baby, but the baby is not the issue. Big Zoo is the issue, Nicki. Big Zoo is the issue. When you say anything about that husband, Nicki Minaj spirals out of control. And I know that we're going to call it Roman, right? And Roman does exist, so I won't lie about that. But the way she loses it, before we get to Meg Thee Stallion, did you guys see when she went and smoked with Fancy, Garcelle Bouvet? Nicki, the lady is on a show. The producers booked Big Zoo's, the person that said Big Zoo, essayed them, right? So they had to interview the lady on the show. Garcelle Bouvet is just asking the questions that's required of her. This is her job. She attacked this lady to no avail. Every minute antagonized to a point. Fancy was like, Nicki, I really have nothing against, but again, bringing up my husband, and you ever seen like, let me see what I can say. Was like really, really something that, okay, like I'm really, really big on respect, right? Because I don't disrespect people. I do not disrespect people. I just don't do it. And not initially. Now, if you done something to me, okay, yeah, you may see another side of me. But as far as respect goes, I've always been raised that respect is due. So initially, upon meeting a person, I'm very respectful. That's who I am, right? So when I get disrespected, it triggers something else in me, right? So instead of me being able to be like, you know what, let me try. No, my initial response is to go left because I feel it triggers something in me. You can honestly see with Nicki, when it comes down to that husband, she's triggered. She's triggered. She's triggered because any motherfucking time somebody has to say something about him, her head flies off, right? And for me, I'm going to say what my issue is with this, right? Number one on the list, you chose him. Let's be very clear. Let's be very clear. You're not in this situation for no money. You're not in this. You chose him. You chose him. And granted, I personally like Big Zoo for her. I think that Nicki needs protection, and I think Big Zoo is there providing protection for her. Fine. Her brother's locked up. Her father passed away. You need a male figure, preferably a husband, that's going to take care and protect you. I'm not mad you chose him. What I'm mad about is that you're ashamed about his past. So every time it comes up, instead of you being able to own, listen. Because you serving two masters. 1 minute you saying, oh, that didn't happen. That was all these years ago. I mean, that didn't happen. That's not the truth. Nobody even knows what happened. And then on the other flip side of it, you saying, oh, but that was 30 years ago. Why are you bringing Nicki? Whether it was 30 years ago or whether it did not happen. If it's something that does not present an issue for you with the man that you chose, why do you keep getting so upset? Why? And then another thing is because you're really mean at heart, when you get upset because that button is pushed, you expose how evil you could be. And that to me, I did not like that. I did not like that. In all fairness, we can talk about him being incarcerated. We can talk about her getting pow. It ain't right, but at least those things are front, center, and present. But to talk about children, which I still to this day didn't hear what Meg said about Papa, and to talk about deceased people, I'm sorry. We got to draw the line somewhere. We have to draw the line somewhere. And with Nicki, you being the elder in the situation, I think that number one, emotionally, you should have been a little bit more pulled together. And even if you weren't, I think because you weren't pulled together, you should have been mature enough to pull back. Because to talk about, to even bring up, because I know what folks are going to say, well, the game of semantics says she didn't talk about the mother. Don't bring up my motherfucker. Don't bring up my alive mother. Don't bring up my alive mother, please. So definitely do not bring up my mother that's deceased in no shape, form, or fashion. I don't care. I don't care. Don't bring her up. The same way I could say about your kids something. No, don't bring up my son. Don't bring up my son. Don't bring up my alive mother. So definitely don't bring up my mother that has passed away. And for me, again, like I said, I did not see Meg say anything about Papa. That was, you moved the goalpost, Nicki. Sorry. You got pissed off because she said that whole Megan's Law piece, which referred to your husband's situation. And if every time somebody has to bring up what he was accused and convicted of is going to have you melt down and then maybe you don't need to be with him. Maybe you don't need to be with him, because to go where you went, the integrity was lost. And the reason why I'm saying this, it goes back to what I was talking to you guys earlier about young versus older, right? The reason why, young folks in adult relationships can be maintained because it's an adult's responsibility to kind of mentor and guide a situation with a young person. And in doing so, you're keeping the integrity of a situation clear so the young person can be clear, right? So I'll give you an example of what I mean. Let's just say you have a connection with a young person, right? That young person may feel comfortable talking any type of way in front of you. So let's just say that young person is okay with cursing in front of you. Right? So they might walk in the room, oh, auntie, that type of thing, right? That's you and that young person. But if you are in a space with with other folks, and that young person walks in and they did the same thing, then it would be like, hold on. Let me check you, right? Let me check you. And the reason why I'm checking you is because maybe we might have that relationship, but because you are in front of other grown people and you don't share that relationship with them, I need to be able to say to you, that's not cool, that's what's up, and you need to be able to receive that as your elder. But what's taking place right now is young people are not respecting grown people and grown people are not acting grown. So now we on the same level. And when you become just as petty and corny and whack as me, why would I view you as an elder? And the ways that you become petty and whack and corny as an elder is when you take the integrity out of a situation. And the only way to maintain integrity is to make sure that you set boundaries and you don't let certain things happen. In that moment, Nicki, like you said, like I know, I can see that when Big Zoo name got to get brought up, you go somewhere else. Same thing that might be the case for your son. I get that. I get that. I get that 100% that when somebody, but if that's the case, then I think you need to step back away from the live and everything else and get yourself together. So when you do come back to be able to spit your venom that you're going to spit at her, it's done with some tact and integrity so motherfuckers know how to move because you're the elder in this situation. Because now if you as the grown old ass bitch is here bringing up dead people, we all bringing up dead people now. So now when I start talking about how the cab or the taxi or the Uber dragged your dead father, are we going to have the same remorse at that? Are we going to have any remorse at that? Oh, no, don't say that. You said it and you're older than me. So if you didn't know any better, how can I? And we are here as the elders to teach that. So for you to even go there, it really had me looking like Nicki, I love, let me say this. I love when you rap. I love when you spit. I love when you tip your head off with your, I love it. I love it. But you were so out of control and you had spiraled so far downward that you couldn't even wait to put in this song. Everybody kept saying, oh, she was sitting around with that diss track. Nicki is a motherfucking spitter. She wasn't spitting or sitting around with that diss track. She came with that at the top of her head on that live because she was so flustered about what Megan said. Because had she had something in the vault, it would have sounded way better than lied on your dead mama, lied on your dead mama. Like that wouldn't, no, it wouldn't have sounded like that. Nicki would have had something way more calculated, so many double entendres and so many ways to go at. You know, she would have been able to go. She couldn't because she was so mortified at what Meg said that it was like, I got to put out something right now. And you couldn't even wait to go to the studio because you there in the house with the camera looking at the wall for 24 hours just berating this girl. And I'm not mad if, again, we going bar for bar, track for track. That's cool. But now you're going too low. You going too low. In my opinion, it was low to talk about the shooting. But you know what? It's the fact. It's what happened. I mean, folks are alive. So that's there. The same way how I could talk about you're dating this type of guy, right? We can go there. But once you're bringing up kids, which once again, Nicki, I didn't hear Meg say that. So I don't know if that's true, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. And let's just say she went too far with that. And you went too far bringing up the dead mama. And I don't care if you wasn't talking about her bad per se, even mentioning that woman that she is no longer alive is disgusting and disgraceful. And you as the elder should have known better. You should have known better to go there. And that's what I mean about, you know, us being the elders and how we guide these young people. You know what I'm saying? I tell everybody, Big Glow, I love Glorilla. I love Glorilla. I crack up at Glorilla rhymes. Glorilla is my girl. That's my little niece. I love Glorilla. But guess what? I log off of social media and go have my real life. You think I'm telling my 3 nieces to be like Glorilla? You think I'm spitting rhymes that Glorilla said to my 3 nieces? No, because at the end of the day, that's just entertainment. I have my real life where I have to guide these young people in the right direction. And a part of that is having integrity. And Nicki, although I do feel like you should be spitting any person head off, it don't matter the age. If we rapping, we're rapping. I get that. But certain places, just as an adult, you just should be showing these young people you don't go there. You don't go there. Sorry. You don't go there. And I think that you being an elder, you should have led the charge in making it clear that certain spaces with this rap beef, we just not going to go. And I feel like, in my opinion, from the moment that you stepped in the rap game, although I love you, and I think that you are, again, one of the number one female rapper right now, you've always been divisive. You've always been a woman that's been in the game looking to separate. That's all you've ever done. And the folks that you did find in your heart to try to come together with are lapdogs who you make bow down to you. And it's not fair. It's not fair, especially as being one of the leading women in the game. You should be doing better. And this is not to say, I'm not taking the blame off Meg, because now let me give you something, Meg. And I went last night looking. Looking for some information on Meg's mother and all of that, because again, I didn't really have Meg to think about. The reality of the situation is, and I'm going to say this, and I mean this with sincerity and compassion, but it's just the fact. Meg is a liar. She was, I don't know if she is right now, an alcoholic, and she's a thot. That's the long and the short of it. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm not saying it to be malicious. And I'm also not saying anything that's not true because she has shared that. She has shared and displayed those behaviors. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So for you, Meg Thee Stallion, although I think, again, like Nicki, you're very talented and you're very beautiful, but you're not a good role model. And if you're going to be in this industry, yes, that's the role that you take on, number one. And number two on the list is stop pretending like you're the victim when things happen, when all of the shit that you're going through, aside from your mother's death, is everything that you brought on your mother yourself. Everything that you brought on yourself, including the pow pow. If we want to be clear, including the pow pow. Because from the story and the facts of the story that everybody laid out, your ass was drunk. You was drunk. You were drunk and you was in bully and beast mode. And they removed you from the situation and you went back to bully and beast mode the situation. And the outcome was you got pow pow. And instead of you being able to own that you was fucking that guy, which was your friend man, your ass was drunk, you was belligerent and a bully, you keep saying, but he shot me. We know. And he's in jail. We got that part. We got it. We know. The whole world know. We watched him get convicted. It's enough. We know what he did. What did you do? And I feel like you are on the same Chrisean train, which is what a lot of these young girls are on. And I have to blame some of the women from my era and my generation, that whole victim Valerie shit. I never did nothing to nobody. I don't bother anybody. Everybody's picking on me. Woe is me. Model, grow up and take some accountability. But I can't be mad at the young girls because I'm watching grown bitches my age do the same thing. It annoys me. Oh, my earring. It annoys me. Oh, my earring. It annoys me. The ghetto. It annoys me. You didn't do nothing to nobody. You didn't say nothing to nobody. Everybody's picking on you. Megan, let me tell you what they said. In case you forgot, let me tell you what they said. They said that you were toe up. Okay, toe up. To a point the hairstylist said, girl, I can look in your face and see the way your wig's slipping back. It's over. It's over. You done, baby. So let me get you on up out of here and let me take you home. Right? Okay. So now I'm trying to take you home and you start saying, oh, I left my slipper. I left my suitcase. I left all these things back because we got to double back to the people's house because you still want to bully and bother this situation. When you went back to the house, you never even retrieved the Gucci slipper or the Louis slipper. You were so busy trying to go to the pool and fight with Tory Lanez about still sticking around with the white girl because in your mind, things should go your way because you the bully, you the boss. Then when you get in this man SUV because you was pissed because he wasn't doing what you wanted him to do, you started cursing him out and telling him how he was a failure and how he couldn't rap and how you was the queen and this and this and that and that and this and this and that and that. We know, we got it. And then it escalated to where it escalated to. And again, he was convicted. He's in jail. And every time somebody asks you to take accountability about any role that you play in any situation, you initially lie because you're a liar. And then after you lie, you play the victim. Another thing that Nicki said that I was like, wow, she said, and again, she could be just saying this because this is just known about you, but she said that at the Hot Girl Summer video shoot, you were being very, I dropped something, I'm sorry, y'all. You were being very flirtatious with her husband and you were acting like a thot. Meg, you're known for getting tipsy and acting this way. And then when you're caught or held accountable for anything that you do, you lie about it. Nicki, these young ladies are not your equal. Let me just be very clear with you. These young women are not your equal. Right? And I think it's unfortunate and really and truly a goddamn shame that ever since you've come into the hip hop industry, you've done nothing but participate in dividing women. And I'm sorry to tell you, but Nicki, that's what it looks like. And this is just me trying to offer you a healing heart session. That's exactly what it looks like. You done beefed with Queen Latifah, Missy, Little Kim, Trina, Remy Martin. The only person that you have a relationship with is the only other person who keeps a whole bunch of drama just like you. Foxy Brown. And now you have taken it to the next level and you are now dividing these young people and bickering and arguing and beefing with them. And me personally, I don't like it because you're the elder. You should know better. But on top of you doing all of that, you are choosing to go so fucking low. Mm-mm. And I'm sorry. I know that, this generation wants, folks my age, let me just be clear, let me call it out, want to be youthful, right? I'm going to be very clear. It comes across very immature. It comes across very immature. It comes across, it takes away from, how can I put this? I started this live by saying we are in different times, but I think that the reason we are in those times is because folks have shifted the way we maneuver things. I'll give an example of what I mean. When I was younger and I had a fight outside, when my mother came outside after I had the fight, she looked at the other young lady I had the fight with and said, "Where's your mother? Where's your mother?" And then when my mother found that young lady's mother, they had some conversation about how this don't need to happen again. And then they both came to us. "Listen, this what you gonna do, this what you gonna do, and I better not see it again, else we both gonna whip your asses." That's what happened when I was coming up. In my generation, when the people my age see their young people outside fighting, they run out and start swinging too. Which in turn makes young people think that this is what's cool. This is what's up. We are all responsible for each other, right? And I know that everybody wants to argue, the white men, and I don't negate that. My thing is that all of us with each other, we are responsible for each other. I'll be the first one to say, I love Young Miami. I love Glorilla. These are all young people that crack me up. I like to listen to their rhymes. I know some of them. I'll spit them, yada, yada, yada. But when I'm going to address my teenage and young adult nieces, I'm not spitting Glorilla to them. I'm not helping them to emulate Young Miami. No, I log out of this and I log into real life. And real life is I'm one of the adults in their life that's supposed to guide and mentor them in the right direction. And if you're letting your young person guide and mentor your big grown ass, or you're leading the charge for them to go in a negative direction, how can you be mad at the outcome? I saw Bernice Burgos' daughter say that she had her first set of cosmetic surgery at 20 years old. 20? But I'm trying to live up to the image of a woman who has been popular damn near her whole life for the aesthetic. So I need to try to live up to that and do the same. When instead, you should be instilling in this young lady that anything of the physical is never going to matter. It's about everything that's on the inside. But you at the surgical centers with her. You referring the doctors to her. She said in an interview that everybody in her family, all the elder women in her family, was telling her, don't leave her baby father. He's the best thing that ever happened to her. And she was saying, so when he lied, cheated, and everything else, I should stay with him after that? Yeah, he has the money. Wow. So I don't know. For this Nicki Minaj and Meg Thee Stallion thing, like I said, I don't have a dog in the fight. I would never lie and tell you guys, oh, I think that, Meg was more wrong or Nicki was more wrong. No, I think they're equally responsible. But I'm always going to definitely lean towards giving more of a opinion and giving more of my perspective to the person that's on my level. Which, like I said, would be Nicki Minaj. We're the same age. So I'm not saying you could not spar with Meg. I think you could. I think verbally in a battle, and on wax, y'all could go toe-to-toe, head-to-head. Go. Do your thing. But when you start going low, you're only teaching this young person that that's where we're supposed to go, and all the other young people looking up to you. You didn't know better than that? Meg Thee Stallion, I know you want to pretend that you're the victim and you don't know what's going on, but you're not a baby either. You're not a baby either. You're an adult. You are an adult. And granted, you have made some mistakes, if that's what you want to chalk them up to, because you're still a young adult. But in any event, you're still responsible for the things that you put out and the things that you participate in. And all of this lying and pretending and you know, Meg, you have to stop. You have to stop. You have to stop. Another thing is, be careful going toe to toe with these men. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Because I don't know how well that's going to work in your favor. You know, and I would love to know where that came from. I went trying to look up some information about your mom. The only thing that I could get was that she used to be a rapper. So I'm wondering, like, what was she instilling in you? I saw that your dad was locked up for most of your life, and then when he came home shortly after, he passed away. So I'm just wondering, like, what were these women instilling in you? What was going on there that they, like, what was happening in those moments to, you know, and coming up? Did you grow to feel like, you know, I gotta fight with the men? Because like I said, I'm be honest with you, Meg, I don't think you give a damn about beefing with Nicki. I don't think you even care about the stuff Nicki say. I think you're more triggered by Drake, Joe Buttons, Tory Lanez. I think those are the people you want to spar with. I think that's who you want to get in the ring with, because I think for whatever reason, that is where you see your biggest competition with the males. No, it's plenty of women out here that you can, you know, I mean, at least for music-wise, And whatever these men have to say about you, who cares? Who cares? Unless you fucking know, who cares? Who cares? You know, I'd rather you know, get in the ring and verbally spar with your opponents. And Nicki is one of them. So continue to, you know, put out your music and y'all go head to head. Because in all fairness, I think we all need to see healthy competition. I love it. I just think that going that low, it said a lot about you as a person, Nicki. I didn't like that. But I'm going to be honest with you, it didn't shock me. It didn't shock me. It did not shock me. I don't think you're a nice person. But I also think you're not nice because you're hurt. I think you have a lot of trauma. And I would love for Healing Hearts to help you. You're not on the Chrisean level where I feel like you're not able to be helped. No, Nicki, I think you can get help. I think Healing Hearts would love to help you. Because I think that this trauma that you have, if you got past it, you could be a nice person, a good person. I think more than anything, you should want to get past it because you're a mom now. You know, you're a mom now. And, you know, having all of this trauma while trying to raise a young person, it doesn't benefit you. It doesn't. I think that you could have sparred with Meg. I can't wait to hear when I get off this. I'm going to go online and look up Bigfoot, because I think that's the record. That's going to show that you prepared. Everybody kept saying, oh, Nicki had this in the vault. That whole, I said, like, get up on a good foot. No, she didn't. She was so mortified about that Megan's Law line that she just went on live and just said whatever came to mind. She didn't have that in the vault. I think when we hear Bigfoot, that's going to be something she really thought and put effort into. But what she's trying to say, which is, again, Nicki, are you playing victim, Valerie? Because according to you, Bigfoot is not going to be a diss track. Nicki, stop. Stop, baby, okay? Stop it. Mm-mm. Nicki, I'm going to tell you this, and I want all of y'all viewing this to pay attention. Any person, and y'all could go look back when she was dragging Garcelle Bouvet, any person that gives her husband's accuser a platform, says anything about them, brings up that situation, Nicki spirals out of control. This time she tries to pretend that Meg said something about Papa. Meg did not say anything about Papa. She said the Megan's Law line, which was very crafty, and it was a good line. Okay? And it upsets you because you don't like nobody talking about your husband. I'm telling y'all, if y'all pay attention moving forward, anybody that brings up Nicki Minaj, she goes crazy. She won't lay off them. She got her foot on their neck. That's her Achilles heel. Nobody's bringing up Papa. Really and truly, nobody's bringing up Papa. Nicki, you can stop with that. Nobody's bringing up Papa. So that's not true. Nobody's bringing up Papa. Everybody's bringing up Big Zoo. And every single time somebody brings up Big Zoo is every single time you spiral out of control and then y'all say it's Roman and whatever it's called. It went too far. It went too far. As an adult, you're 41 years old. You're their elder. You know, you could have cursed Meg out. And like you said, you've been calling the horses and all that. You can continue to do that. You can even talk about the pow pow. I mean, it's tasteless to me to do it. But in any event, hey, that's what we got, right? That's your ammo. But to bring up someone that's deceased, that's nasty. And if Meg would have brought up your child, that's nasty as well. You're going too far. And you as the adult, you should have been the one trying to maintain some integrity in this situation instead of going lower than the young person. But that's the era we live in. I'm sorry, y'all. That's the era we live in. I regret to inform y'all, I see a lot of grown bitches my age competing with these young girls, all in these young girls' business, dressing like these young girls, hating on these young girls. It's crazy. I got a DJ dropping this week about that. Nah, that shit ain't cool. That shit ain't cool. That shit ain't cool. That shit is not cool. Like I told you, the only reason I knew Chrisean exists is because I wanted to make an attempt to heal her heart. Other than that, them young girls, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that. The young girls I have in my circumference, my nieces, I'm trying to be the big dog, the grown up for them. I'm not trying to be on their level. And no, I want to show them that as an older woman, these are the things that you aspire to have class, to have intelligence, to know how to read the room, to be respectful. All the other shit gonna come. But come on, when I'm showing you that when somebody go low, you go to hell, and grow up. Grow the fuck up. I'm sorry. Grow up. Grow up. Grow up. I don't care what. Grow up. Grow up. Grow up. Grow up. So when you there teaching when you as a woman is there teaching the younger women around you to be petty, to be hateful and spiteful, to be mean, to be stuck up, to be disrespectful, to fuck for money, to only care about what people look like and what they can offer you. Come on. But it's what y'all old bitches doing. So that's why you think that's cool. Not me. Any young person that's ever had to encounter me, they would tell you, I would never steer them wrong. I would never do that, especially not my family. But even people that I don't have good relationships with, I always still try to at some point show up as a guiding force and a leading light. Not to show you how to be more petty, more disrespectful, more money hungry, more mean. Shit ain't cool. So, Nicki, I didn't like that. And Meg, I didn't like it either. Because what you want to stand back and do now is act like you victim Valerie, because that's another thing you did the other day. Oh, that was for who it was for. Wahala. Meg, stop. Fucking stop. Say their name or leave it at the playground. That's it. Say this bitch had her foot on my neck for the last 3 years, and I couldn't say nothing because I was dealing with that trial. But now I'm up out of retirement, and I'm back, and I'm calling these bitches and these niggas out and put it out there. But you don't want to put it out there because when they get back at you, you're going to try to act like that wasn't for them, and once again, become the victim. It ain't cool. And like I said, if that's what's the new norm and that's what people are subscribing to, they have to do that over there. What I'm going to continue to do and forever do is lead by example in a positive direction, which is why I did this live. Like I said, I don't got a dog in the fight. I would be lying to tell y'all, oh, I'm a hottie or I'm a barb. No, I'm not either one of them. I love the dog fuck out of Nicki new album. Yes, I do. I love Meg's new single. Yes, I do. But them as women, I'm disappointed. Do better. And like I said, a lot of my conversation was for Nicki because we're peers. Meg is not my peer. We're peers. She just involved in the conversation because she was involved in the situation. But Nicki, you and I are peers. So I'm going to definitely always holler at you. What the fuck you doing? I never forget, right? I had a friend. Let me give y'all a personal story, right? And then I'm going to get up out of here. I had a friend, right? And she came over to visit me. And when she came to visit, she had one of our friends' daughter with her, right? As soon as she walked in the door, how we do, because that's my homegirl, she running her mouth. Yeah, and basically she started to get on about, an escapade she had and oral sex and more. But all of it came out right there in front of the young lady, right? And I remember in that moment from when a little girl walked in the door, Us two grown-ass women are responsible for her right now. She's here with us, right? So I can't be like, oh, girl, well, you brought her here, so that ain't got nothing to do with me. No, no. No, I'm responsible for her as well in this moment. So as soon as she started talking, because again, it was cursing, it was sexual conversation right in front of the young girl, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Number one on the list, nowadays you can't even use no, when we was younger, people could use like, you know how some people will use like hidden words, like when they want to talk about dick. So they be like, oh, it's a crayon. And these kids too crafty for that. So I was like, as a matter of fact, let's just table this conversation. Let's just table it. Because in these moments, you're speaking so freely in front of this young girl. And I feel like almost as if I'm allowing something to happen to her in that moment. That's how responsible I felt. I felt like I'm walking by watching her get jumped or something. And I know that's, you know, you Deja, you looking too much into it. I get it. But I'm just saying that's how I felt. That's how I felt. I felt like I was allowing something to happen to her in that moment. And in this moment, I'm responsible for her. How dare me? How dare me? And that's how I am at work. That's how I am at work. You have your young people, you drop them off here for a certain amount of time with us. I'm responsible for your young person. And how I grew up, because my mom and my aunts is the same. In these moments when I got you and I'm responsible for you, I'm going to guide you in the right direction. So when we have lost that thought process and we have abandoned that thinking, and when we let go of our morals, values, and integrity just to be down with these young girls, that shit ain't cool. That shit ain't cool. And as you can see, it's not because I tried to watch Now That's TV. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh God, my co-host Lila on Fridays is gonna have to, you know, tell y'all about Now That's TV. I tried. I started from season 4. Then when I had my sister Lila, she was like, no, go start at season 2 because that's really. And I was like, what is this? Every minute, a fight. What is this? And grown people standing around, you know, basically being the referees of this shit. That's what we teaching young people, that instead of using your words and instead of having tools for your tool belt and instead of having tools to de-escalate things and conflict resolution skills, no, you just might bust out and punch a person, bite a person, hit them with an eye. What is that? So Nicki and Meg, I know I may have taken this too deep, right, for some people, but it's important to me because, you know, I think that now we're going to hear more young people, which they've already started because I seen that a while back, but it will continue just because of what happened, especially with women. Now we're going to hear more of the bringing up your dead relative because I don't care. I don't care. And I guess it's okay. I guess it's okay. In all fairness, and I'm being honest, let me take the healer out of this and be human. I was cracking up when when Nicki was in Roman mode. I was like, this girl is really retarded, right? But the other part of me is, like I said, I was laughing at that in the privacy of my own home. I'm not gonna promote that will ever be cool. You don't speak ill of the dead. You don't speak on people's children. It's just certain places you don't go. And if, as the elders that's now leading and guiding these young people, we can't give them that, then they're going to go on thinking that that's okay. Because not only are we telling you that it's not, we're doing it ourselves. That don't sit right with me. That don't sit right with me, especially as a person who would like to bring a daughter into the world in the future. I don't want my baby thinking that's okay. You know? And I think a lot of times people do these things and then, you know, they feel we're all responsible for each other. I just told y'all a story where one of my friend's daughters was here. I was responsible for her in that moment. No, I'm not her mother. But at the end of the day, I couldn't leave her out there like that. That was a teachable moment. So even for my friend, whoa, you don't speak like this in front of nobody else's child. She may not expose her daughter to these type of conversations. You think it's okay for you to do it? And again, I don't think my friend was doing it with malice. I just think she was flowing off the top of the head. But at the end of the day, this was a teachable moment, and I needed to be able to give her that gem. Now, she continued to do it when I'm not around, fine. But at least I did my due diligence when I was there. Because at the end of the day, we have to take care of each other. But anyway, y'all, I know I took this deep. I just want to weigh in. I just wanted to weigh in because I know a lot of people also are weighing in from the perspective of they more so like Nicki more or like Meg more. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like either one of them more than the other. I am more engaged in Nicki's music than I am in Meg's. But to say I like either one of them more than the other, that would be a lie. But I did want to weigh in because I think we're dealing with a larger issue. I don't think it's just about, oh, they came out with a rap song and we got to see who rapped the best. That wasn't that. That wasn't that. It was a lot of hidden gems and a lot of lessons that can be taught in those moments that we need to be having with our young people, unless you don't give a fuck about these young people. And what we all have to keep in mind is those young people are going to become adults. And when they do, they need to have these tools. And we are the people supposed to be giving it to them because our parents gave it to us. We can't just abandon them. That's what kept us where we are to this day. But like I said, folks are motherfuckers running them up. I don't know. Me personally, I'm going to continue touching, moving, and inspiring. I'm gonna continue leading by example. Am I perfect? No. In my private moments and in my moments with my peers, I'm turned up, I'm ratchet, I'm twerking, I'm doing everything I like to do as an adult. Yes. But when I am in front of young people and when I am in public, I'm doing my best to lead in a positive direction because I would like for you to go in a positive direction. Unless I want less for you than I have for myself. And if you do, then I have to question the integrity of who you are. But that's just me. So anyway, if you are new here, I just wanted to come up here. I'm not going to drop the link. You know, what I will say is I appreciate everybody tuning in. Please make sure you share the video. Please make sure if you have some snippets of the video that you really agreed with, you make sure you post them, send them to me, let me see them. If you didn't agree with it, you make sure you post them, you let me see, you give me your feedback in the comments, you hit the like. If you're a new person here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And let's have more conversation about the role that us adults are supposed to play in these young people's lives. All of my friends have children. Would it be okay for me to show up, you know, and have some behaviors that don't benefit your young person? Would that be okay for you? And it's your motherfucking kid? I don't think so. So in any event, let's talk. Let's talk more about this. Leave all your comments in the comment section. Yes, so Dear DJs will be dropping. I think the first Dear DJ drops at 7 p.m. tomorrow, not 7 a.m. And I'm going to drop tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday for Dear DJ. On Tuesday and Friday, we will have Live at 5. Please tune into Live at 5. Live at 5, I will be applying the pressure for you to call in because a lot of y'all be having feedback, but y'all be mad shook. Like I said, you paid attention to the last time, you didn't see any of those other ladies on camera. They didn't need to be. They just needed to speak their piece. Live at 5 is interactive fun, and I only want to keep it going for maybe an hour. So why is my allergies acting up like this? In any event, thank you guys for tuning in. Listen, we got shows tonight. Because we're going to be discussing them Tuesday, so I don't want motherfuckers acting like they ain't watched the shows. At 8 o'clock, which is why I'm letting y'all off at 7:30, we're watching Real Housewives of Potomac on Bravo, and at 9, we're watching Married to Medicine on Bravo. Tune in, because on Tuesday, I want to talk about these things. On Monday, we have The Impact. The Impact is coming on Monday on VH1. If you missed last week's, try to catch last week so you can watch The Impact on Monday. I think it comes on at 9, if I'm not mistaken. 8 or 9. Tune in to VH1. Google it and figure it out. But we're going to be talking about that on Tuesday. We're going to be discussing some of the things in Dear DJ. If you agree or disagree with some of my feedback, we'll discuss that on Tuesday. And if you have some hot topics, you have my number, you have my social media, DM me, inbox me. Also, let's find out if Charles is alive and if Miss Netta is a human being. Let's find that out. Also, Ruby Rose, and we'll see. And we'll see. Also, check out Bigfoot. I want to hear. I'm going to go listen right now to what Nicki said on Bigfoot, because I think this is a song she put the effort in. And we may have more conversation about Nicki and Meg on Tuesday, depending on where the situation goes. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love y'all. Please like the video, hit the thumbs up. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel and share with me your thoughts. I love you guys. Enjoy your Sunday and go watch Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine on Bravo.